Now on Eyewitness News at 9, it is decision time for parents and families in the Philadelphia School District. For the first time this school year, face masks are now optional.
Queen Elizabeth II continues her final journey as thousands of mourners line the streets to pay their respects. We will have a live report with Jim Donovan from across the pond.
And a live look at the Philadelphia skyline on this Monday morning. Our next weather team is tracking some storms making their way to our area. Some of them could turn severe.
Now, from the CBS Broadcast Center in Philadelphia, this is CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 9.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Eyewitness News at 9, streaming live on CBS News Philadelphia. I'm Natasha Brown.
And I'm Janelle Burrell. Thank you so much for joining us right here on our brand new 9 a.m. newscast. We're so excited to be here with you. And our Jim Donovan, he's here as well, joining us live from England. He's been covering the 10 days of mourning for Queen Elizabeth II. Jim, good to have you with us here this morning.
Good morning, Janelle and Natasha. Behind me is Windsor Castle, the final resting place of the Queen. Coming up, it's been a very busy day here in the United Kingdom. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you shortly, Jim. Thank you for that. Meanwhile, this morning, students and staff of the Philadelphia School District, they have a choice now when it comes to wearing face masks.
For the very first time this school year, masks are optional. Eyewitness News reporter Jasmine Payute is live as classes get underway at Masterman School in Spring Garden. She's got the latest for us. Good morning, Jasmine.
Good morning, Natasha. Janelle, the district only required masks for the first 10 days of the school year. Today, students officially have an option, although masks are strongly encouraged. We spoke with some students who say they are excited about this change. Now, the district sent the letter to parents last week on Thursday. They say they may temporarily reinstate a masking requirement in certain cases, including when the COVID-19 community level is high, based on the CDC guidelines. Overall, in Philadelphia, masks are strongly recommended in indoor public settings, with the CDC rating transmission in the region as high. Some people say it's a concern, while others are excited to take the mask off.
It concerns me because you'll never know what will happen about an outbreak as well.
I think children should be able to see the other children's faces and their parents, teachers' faces. And also, I don't think these masks are protecting them pretty much. Yeah, unless they wear a N95 or something, if they really need to be protected. These masks are not helping them.
I think it's good because kids get to express the way they feel about whether they want to or not, and yeah.
The city is currently averaging about 190 new cases a day. The district is urging parents to get their children vaccinated. We're live in Spring Garden. Jasmine Payute, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jasmine, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Now, we're going to take a live look at Philadelphia's Italian market. We're off to a dry start, as you can see, but how long is it going to last?
Apparently not too long. You're going to want to keep the umbrellas handy as you head out the door this morning. Meteorologist Tammy Souza is here tracking storms heading our way with our next weather forecast. Hi, Tammy.
Well, hello to both of you and all of you at home. We are under a next weather alert for later this afternoon and this evening. That is because we have a late day threat of severe storms developing. Now, these are going to be scattered storms, so not all of us will see one of them. We do have damaging winds and flooding rains as the main threat with all of these, so it could mean a slower commute, especially the second portion of the evening. Outside right now, clouds across the area. We'll get a few peaks of sunshine. That'll percolate the atmosphere and make it less stable for those storms. 75 right now. The winds out of the north and northeast, they'll swing around to the south today and pump more warmth and moisture into the area. Generally cloudy sky out there, but again, we'll get a few breaks in the cloud cover. And when you look out to the west, you see those showers making their way through West Virginia, all the way up through the western part of Pennsylvania, all the way up through the Great Lakes, back to that little swivelly thing there over Chicago. Well, that's an area of low pressure, and that is the cold front extending from it. It's been out there for days. It's now approaching us, and that is what will trigger those storms later on today. So temperatures will climb from 75 all the way up to 83. Will become quite unstable. We'll see those widely scattered storms developing sometime between 4 and 6. They'll start to pop up across the area. They will linger through the evening. When I come back in just a few minutes, I'm going to track them all out for you so you'll know the timing of when you can run out and when you need to get back in the house. Back over to you, ladies.
All right, thank you, Tammy.
Well, we're following some breaking news right now. Police investigating a reported rape in North Philadelphia. This happened just after 6 o'clock this morning at North 2nd and Luzerne Streets, right across from Thomas Edison High School. The victim says she was held inside of a makeshift tent during this assault. Right now, we are working to confirm if police have any suspects in this case. Also this morning, a baby is finally home safe with her mother after she was abducted in a stolen SUV.
All of this happening early this morning in Philadelphia's Ronhurst section. Take a look at this. This is the moment that mother and that baby were reunited. Police tell us the mother had left her Apple AirPods inside of the SUV when it was stolen right from her driveway with her 6-month-old baby girl inside of the vehicle. Investigators say those AirPods actually helped police track down the vehicle and the baby to Castor Avenue and Griffith Street. The car was found abandoned with the baby still inside. Right now, police are searching for the suspect.
Well, today, thousands of people across the United Kingdom will get their chance to say goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II.
Today marks the first day of public viewings of her coffin. That's going to begin in just a few short hours. Eyewitness News anchor Jim Donovan has been covering the Queen's death from England. He joins us from live outside of Windsor Castle, and that's where the Queen is going to be laid to rest next to her late husband. Good morning once again, Jim.
Good morning, Janelle and Natasha. Indeed, Windsor Castle is in the background. That round tower right next to that is St. George's Chapel, where Queen Elizabeth II will be laid to rest.
Britain's long goodbye to Queen Elizabeth is now officially underway. On Sunday, a hearse carried the Queen's coffin from the Scottish country home where she died to Edinburgh, Scotland's capital. The 6-hour journey was marked by huge crowds that lined the roads for a glimpse of the hearse.
The mood was somber but respectful, but spontaneous applause began just as the cortege had left.
Today, the Queen's body will be transported to St. Giles Cathedral along Edinburgh's Royal Mile. Elizabeth's son, the new King Charles III, will lead the procession, which will conclude with a private service afterwards. Members of the public will be able to come pay their respects in person. Queen Elizabeth is expected to lie at rest in Scotland for about 24 hours. Her coffin will then be flown to London on Tuesday ahead of an extended public viewing. Charles began his day with his first address to Parliament as king, vowing to continue his mother's dedication to the nation.
She set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
The death of the UK's longest reigning monarch has prompted an outpouring of grief across the country. For most of her subjects, the 96-year-old was the only monarch they had ever known.
She'll be sorely missed, not only by her family, but I think everyone that she's come into in their lives.
And there's been lots of concern and speculation online over what will happen to the Queen's corgis. They are reportedly going to remain together and in the care of her family. The BBC says the dogs will be jointly adopted by her son, Prince Andrew, and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson.
We're being told that there are tight restrictions being placed on VIPs that plan on attending the funeral. Politico is reporting that only foreign heads of state and their partners are being invited. Meantime, back to you, Janelle and Natasha in the studio.
All right, Jim, with our continuing coverage of remembering Queen Elizabeth II. We'll see you later today, Jim. Thank you so much.
Well, right now, here are some of the top local stories we're working on for you right now.
Including the search continuing for a shooter who killed a father of 7 in Germantown. Philadelphia police say the 37-year-old SEPTA manager was ambushed in front of his house just before 1 o'clock this morning. So far, no word about a motive in the shooting.
And classes resume in person today with additional security on hand at the Parkland School District in Lehigh County. The FBI and the Pennsylvania State Police currently investigating a violent threat against students and staff at Orfield Middle School that reportedly came from the state's Safe to Say Something app.
And in Philadelphia, Restaurant Week is officially back. Starting today, more than 60 restaurants across Center City will give people the chance to dine in for less. And this year there's an added bonus. You can also get dinner and a show because select venues along the Avenue of the Arts, they're offering tickets at a reduced price through the end of this year. Restaurant Week runs through September 24th. And now to a look at some of the top national stories we're following for you right now.
Today, a response from former President Trump is due regarding the request from the Department of Justice for a special master in the investigation into sensitive documents seized from his Mar-a-Lago home. A federal judge paused the DOJ's review of the documents with plans to appoint a special master to handle the case. The Justice Department has appealed that decision.
And in Northern California, the so-called mosquito fire continues to burn, forcing even more people to flee the flames there. There was some relief, meanwhile, in the southern part of the state where rain over the weekend helped firefighters gain an upper hand on the Fairview fire, which is east of Los Angeles.
Well, still ahead, everyone, on Eyewitness News, a winning start to the season for the Eagles. We're going to talk with famed play-by-play broadcaster for the Birds, Merrill Reese, the one and only, as we look ahead to what's next for the Eagles.
Can't wait for that. Plus, the Walnut Street Theater is celebrating a big anniversary today, and they have some great giveaways as well lined up. We'll have all of that for you and much more when we come right back.
Welcome back, everyone. You know, it's always a good weekend when the Eagles win and the Cowboys lose. That's exactly what happened yesterday. The Eagles beat the Lions 38-35 thanks to their brand new star wide receiver, A.J. Brown. He had 10 catches for 155 yards in the game. Quite a debut. Now, that's a team record for most receiving yards in a debut with the Eagles. Now, the Eagles traded for Brown and then gave him a 4-year, $100 million contract extension. He had this to say when asked about his big day.
This is my job. For me, it's the best job in the world, and just giving thanks to God for another opportunity to showcase it.
With AJ and Jalen, does that not all surprise you how seamlessly that transitioned into the regular season?
No, I mean, usually if it's going well in practice, it transitions over into games. So, I think that those two really have obviously a bond off the field.
Well, the Eagles will play the Vikings in their home opener next Monday night.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Now that the Eagles have that one win under their belt, first win of the season, all eyes, as Natasha said, will be on next Monday's home opener. And we're so excited to be joined by Eagles play-by-play announcer Merrill Reese, joining us live with more on the Eagles. Good morning to you, Merrill. We're so glad to have you with us this morning after what was a win that they really wanted, really needed, kicking off the season. First off, quarterback Jalen Hurts, he's the guy leading the team this season. What did you think about him against the Lions yesterday?
He was terrific. Actually, at the beginning of the game, early in the game, they needed him to take charge of that game and to run the football, and that's what he did. He did a great job. I don't like to see him run as much as he ran yesterday, but a lot of that was not by necessity. The blitz was coming. He got out of harm's way. He picked up big yards. He's a tremendous athlete, and he also made some great throws. So I thought he played a fabulous game.
Yeah, he really pulled it off there yesterday, which fans were happy to see, of course. Meanwhile, his friend A.J. Brown, he really picked up in the offseason. He looks to be the real deal in all of this. What do you think he's going to add to the offense this season for the Birds?
Well, this is not a surprise. This is why they signed him to the long-term contract. This is why they made the deal. He is an elite, polished receiver. He's young, but he's one of the best receivers in the National Football League, and I think he's going to continue to contribute to this team. But don't forget number 6, Devontae Smith, in his second year. He is also going to have his big days. Eagles have a lot of weapons out there. They have Goddard, the tight end, who's also a terrific weapon. So believe me, this team is loaded on offense. And also, they had the running game going with Miles Sanders, who gained almost 100 yards, including a 24-yarder when the game was on the line.
Yeah, they have, as you said, a lot of weapons this season, and they have certainly a lot to prove. But we have to admit that when yesterday, towards the end, it got a bit scary for fans as they were watching the Birds almost really cough up that lead. Should we have expected more from the defense on the field?
Well, the defense did not have its finest hour, but on the other hand, it's early in the season. And I often think of some of these early September games as an extension of the preseason because they get very little game action during the preseason. There's very little tackling to the ground. But I think they will, as they say, clean that up. And I think the defense will be a lot more effective than it was yesterday.
All right. Looking forward to next Monday night, their first home game of this season. What do you think it's going to take for them to get that W?
Well, they're playing a very good Vikings team. A Vikings team that came off a resounding win yesterday. They're good. They're very, very good. But you know what? This is a good Eagles team, so it's a good matchup. They'll have to put a lot more pressure on Kirk Cousins, the Vikings quarterback, than they did on Goff yesterday. But we'll wait and see. But it's a good early season matchup. And what I like is Monday Night Football at the Link, and the crowd will go wild.
Absolutely, and we're looking forward to it. Merrill, next Monday night, the Eagles, a lot to prove, and at least they have that one win in their belts this morning. Merrill Reese, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Natasha, let's send it back over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Janelle. We do appreciate that. You know, it's Monday. It's been a muggy, kind of cloudy inland day.
Bad hair day.
A bad hair day. What, storms on the way?
That's right. That's our big concern is these storms that are on the way, because some of them could turn severe later today. I mean, down the shore, not so bad. I mean, Cape May, you know, it looks pretty quiet right now. That's not how it's going to be later on this evening. It's going to be kind of rough, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at what's going to be going on. First of all, that shot at Cape May, that really kind of sums it up. It looks like a dreary day out there, lots of cloud cover. It just kind of looks dank, but it is very muggy out as well. So we're not going to need to have jackets. The temperature is climbing. It's 75 in Philadelphia right now, 70 in Reading. It is 75 in Atlantic City. We're going to make it into the low 80s today ahead of that storm system that's coming in. So today's severe threat, the reason that we issued this next weather alert is because we're expecting to see storms pop late in the day and through the evening. Now, these are going to be widely scattered. Not everybody will see one, but any storm that pops does have the potential of turning severe. Damaging winds will be the biggest threat. That means a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust or higher. Localized flood threat, because these could have torrential downpours, and perhaps some slow evening commutes just around the time of the storms wherever you are. The tornado risk is very, very low. You always have it with severe weather, but that is not the big feature today, just to let you know. The entire area is included in this level 1 alert. So we're in the marginal risk for the entire area, and this goes through about midnight tonight. Storm Scan 3 shows clouds in place. We will get a few breaks in the clouds. Any bright sky out there will help to destabilize the atmosphere. That will allow that cold front that is headed our way, you can see it right now, through Buffalo and then back down toward West Virginia. As that makes its way in our direction, it is going to lift that air. It's going to trigger those storms. So here's what's going to happen. We'll roll you through. We're pretty quiet through the early afternoon. Then we see some showers and storms popping 4 o'clock. They're moving through Philadelphia, maybe 6 to 8 o'clock. Down the shore, South Jersey, maybe as late as 10 o'clock, even midnight before it really starts to quiet down. Maybe one last scattered shower or storm overnight. Then we have cloud cover tomorrow morning. And then we get high pressure coming in and we get the clearing. And boy, is it going to be a nice long stretch of clear weather. The rain, it looks like it's really going to start to pick up after about 6 o'clock, and it could linger all the way through midnight for Philadelphia. Here's what you need to do. You need to track these storms. We have a great app. Track them on the app. Track them here streaming on CBS Philadelphia, and also have a plan. Prepare the kids if they're going to be home alone or if you're going to be out and about, and leave that extra commute time if you're going out at the time of the storms. 83 in Philadelphia today, 84 down the shore, and 74 in the Poconos. Tonight, 70. We will see scattered showers and storms overnight tonight, and then we hit that stretch of nice weather. Look at that, all low 80s and sunshine, one even in the upper 70s. Not bad. Past today. Ladies?
Just got to get it through today, and it's better on the other side. Thank you so much, Tammy. Well, today the Walnut Street Theater is commemorating its 214th season.
And to kick off the big celebration, there are some incentives if you line up early for your tickets. The theater is giving away cheesesteaks from Pat's King of Steaks and drink coupons from Yards Brewing Company to the first 100 people in line. Tickets are also buy one, get one free today in person. The Walnut Street Theater Theater's first show of the season, Rocky the Musical. It opens on October 6th.
All right, sounds good. Still ahead here on Eyewitness News, break out your blenders. We're going to tell you why today is the perfect excuse to indulge.
My son wasn't married. He wanted to be married. He wanted kids. Like, all of these things has been taken away from me. I've been robbed.
Well, mothers share their heart-wrenching stories of grief after losing a child to gun violence. Coming up in our next half hour, we take you inside this group linked by their tragedies and tell you all about a group that's working to bring solace and support to these families.
Welcome back, everybody. If you have a blender, here is the perfect reason to use it today.
That's right. Today is National Chocolate Milkshake Day. It's a day to celebrate for ice cream lovers, chocolate lovers, or just if you have a sweet tooth. Now, you can observe today by enjoying a chocolate milkshake at your favorite restaurant, or whip one up yourself if you'd like. Share what you're having online with the hashtag Chocolate Milkshake Day. We want to see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And I prefer vanilla milkshakes.
I do too. Maybe a little tiny bit of chocolate.
But have at it. Post those pictures for us.
So that's going to do it for us, everyone, at 9 o'clock here on CBS 3.
But we have much more ahead coming up in our next half hour over on our streaming service, CBS News Philadelphia.
And you can find it right on the homepage of CBSPhiladelphia.com. You can also watch on Paramount Plus and on Pluto TV.
And on CBS 3, we'll be right back here for you for Eyewitness News at noon.
The Drew Barrymore Show is coming up next, everyone. We'll see you soon.
Hey family, I'm Yuki Washington, and welcome to the CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 9 a.m. edition. We are so excited to bring you more news, more sports, and next weather forecast for the first half hour. You will be able to stream the entire hour broadcast on our website at cbsnewsphiladelphia.com. Want to watch from the comfort of your couch or office? That's easy too. Here's how. Go to the CBS News app. It is free to download. From there, click search on any device. Type in CBS News, then download the free app. Open and scroll to find CBS News Philadelphia. There are plenty of ways to watch. We'll see you on air and online every weekday morning.